Hey guys, getting started in just a few. We are going to explore Arturia's flagship synthesizer Pigments. So I'm gonna wait for more folks to join. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me fine. I'm gonna put some music, courtesy of Artlist, by the way. So let me know again in the comments how things sound. All right. So we are getting ready to explore. Right. So today's live stream is all about pigments. So I'm really excited because this is one of my favorites, and it is very, very good. It is pretty much anything you need in a synthesizer, and I'm gonna show you that. Just got it all. So we have wavetables, we have analog, virtual analog, we have sampler, we have additive with the harmonic, and we have so many very, very cool features and things that you can do here. So again, gonna get started in just a few, and I'm really looking forward to see you guys in the chat. So yeah, let me know if you can hear me and if I'm coming through loud and clear, because I have no idea. I need to check that. Looking forward to see you guys in the chat. So yeah, let me know if Okay, so we are getting started, and I will just mention that this live stream is mainly for people that don't really know, don't I mean maybe don't have even pigments, and you're looking to kind of see what's inside. But if even if you have pigments, maybe I'm gonna show you some stuff that you don't know or didn't know, and if you don't know anything about how to create sounds from scratch, or kind of like basic sound design and how synthesizers work. And there are many things that you'll find here much easier than with other synthesizers, because they design the synth in such a way that it's such a joy and so much fun to program. So definitely one of the top synthesizers that I have. So let's wait few more moments before we get started here, and I would love to know um, where are you guys from? Who's in? I don't see anyone in the chat right now, but just feel free to just go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from. What do you say about the Mondial, the World Cup? And yeah, we'll get started in, well, let's get started. So I'm going to load a few, few presets, and we'll see how it goes. So this is one example. You can see we have a wave table here, and I'm going to explain this. Hey Philippe, thanks for joining from Germany. Good to see you. And yeah, so let's try another one. And in Pigments, you have a few choices or a few things that you can do. Hey, Franzu, thanks for joining. We have few things that we can do to browse through the presets. And so one of them will be just clicking this title on the top here. And then we have the categories, right? And then if you want to go into the library, you can do that also. And you go into my sound banks, and there's sound banks. And by the way, there are companies and people. Hi, OV1 Records. Good to see you. And I am going to get into your plugin for sure. It's coming up. So yeah, we have banks that are dedicated to Pigments 2 and 3 and 3.5 and 4. So cool. And so let's go through the user interface and see what do we have here on this panel. So first, before we dive into that, you need to know that we have 4 different views. So this is the synth view. And it looks a little bit complex, but also very beautiful because we have all these colors here. And what we also have is the play. So this is new in Pigments 4 that was just released. Yeah, for sure, OV1. Right, so gonna get this noisy phone out of the way. So this is the play, and you can see that it's like a simplified view. So we have engine 1, engine 2, the utility, the filters, and a little bit of visual on the modulations, which we're going to talk about. And then we have the amplitude here. We have the envelope and we have the macros, nothing much. And then again, we have the synth, we have effects, which are not right. They're not used right now. Right? And we also have a sequencer / arpeggiator, which is awesome. So let's go and create a sound from scratch. And as I create that sound, it's going to be very simple sound, but very cool, I promise you. I'm going to explain what I'm doing. So I'm going into the synth view or synth tab, whatever. And you can see we have 2 engines. So these engines, engine 1 and engine 2, are identical. If you click this drop down here, you will see that we have 4 choices. So we have analog. This is how it looks like. We have 3 oscillators, and these actually produce the sound. And then we might have a wave table. And if you click this title here, you'll see we have different wave tables, which are stacked waveforms, one on top of the other, and you can scan them, right? And I'll show you how you can automate that to create some movement and something that is changing over time as you play. And then we also have a sampler. Yeah, I forgot that I need to push the volume a little bit higher. So, and next we also have harmonic engine, which is really great, and that was added in Pigments 3.5. So it has its the tone that you play, whatever you play, and then you have the partials. You see this partial. So right away, I want to show you something that you can do in Pigments, which is really fun, and this is how to modulate. So we'll talk about modulation, and it's really one of the first thing. I mean, usually it's like an advanced, but I don't think it needs to be such an advanced topic, because in Pigments everything is super easy. So we have Philippe saying that he loves the granular module and the sequencer with the generative potentialities. Right, absolutely. So what we have here, and actually I have a video covering that. I cover everything that you see here in the harmonic engine. So check that. This video is for beginners. So if that's too basic for you, apologies, but definitely it's I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna point out some things that are important. Anyway, so let me show you how you can automate things in Pigment. So for example, if I want to automate this, right, or anything else, I'm going to click this plus here, and now I need to decide what will happen. So for example, the basic example would be if I want this to be opening and closing, I can use the LFO. I'm going all the way, and you'll see this blue dot just going back and forth. So now let me check. I see that my video is covering just a bit of the user interface, so I'm gonna just take it back a bit. Right, should be fine now. So now you see that I'm just playing. I'm not touching the mouse or anything like that, right? And it just goes. So I'm going into LFO, into this tab. So you can see on the bottom that we have keyboard, we have envelopes, we have LFO, functions, random, combinate, and then finally we have the macros. So whatever you set here, it is then later, these are the devices. So we have sort of a device that you can use to change other parameters. And in this case, this is the LFO. So what you see here, LFO 1, and you see this little dot just traveling across the wave shape. And I can change the wave shape. For example, we can take this, and then I can change the rate. It can go faster. And I can set the starting point somewhere else. Right, things like that. And then we also have, hey Holgi, thanks for joining, and JH Studio as well. Right, so we have this thing, and let me note something that is new in Pigments 4. So in Pigments 4, you can click this where it says Hertz, and you can set the rate type. So right now it's on Hertz. It can be synced, straight only, triplet, or dotted. So what is new in Pigments 4? We have the sync, which is just, it has everything. So if I'll just go from left to right, you'll see we have all the divisions. Right, so that's how you do some basic modulations. We'll come back to that later. So now let me show you something else. Let's go back into the template, and this is the default template. And you can see that we have wavetable right here in engine 1, but it can be analog. So let's have a listen. Right, and what we are looking at right now is that we have oscillator 1, and then we have oscillator 2 and oscillator 3, and I can actually have different wave shapes for each one, and I can change the tuning. But right now you can see that only oscillator 1 is actually doing something. I can also engage oscillator 2 and mix between them, and I can change this tuning. But that's of course some, I mean, we can add even more. Right, and I need to set the volume. But other things that you can do, let's just turn that down. Other things that you can do, you can see that we have this unison here. So that's also new in Pigments 4. So we have this unison mode in many places. So we have unison, which will add more voices. And we have detuning. Now, in order to make things a little bit more interesting, I think we'll go back to the basics here. And let's go back to the envelopes. So now another concept that is super important in almost any synthesizer, that will be the envelope. And you can see that this first envelope here is assigned. It says envelope VCA. So what does it mean? It means that the VCA, the voltage controlled amplifier, which we don't have really here. We have just an emulation of that. So that is like the amplifier that we have. So we have something that creates the sound. That's the analog engine here, and then we have this. Envelope that will control how the sound evolves over time. So let's start from the end, from the release. You see that when I play anything, the sound just stops the moment that I take my finger off the keyboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the release, and you can see this dot here. So this is the amount of time. Right now I can just hover. It's going to be almost 1.5 seconds. Right? So now we're getting somewhere. And if I want the beginning to be a little bit longer, so it's like a pad, right? So that will be the attack. The attack will be how much time would it take for the sound to reach its maximum velocity. This is really beautiful because we're not doing anything. All we have here is just one engine with one oscillator, but we did use the unison. So let me show you something else. If you click this, you'll see that we have chord. Once I select that, I can select how many voices, even 6, but we don't need 6. We can go with 4. And now I have different types of chords. Even, I mean, I can go with the minor or major, octaves, fifth, whatever. All right, and we can go with, let's see, something sus4. Right, and going back to minor 7th. And again, we can adjust the attack, right, and adjust the release. So now, let me show you what would be the next step for us. We can add some effects. So let's see what kind of effects we have. And we have 2 lanes. We have FXA and FXB. And finally, we also have an auxiliary channel, where we can put things in parallel to anything. It's like splitting the signal, and one copy goes into the lanes here to FX1 and 2, and you can see the inserts here. So we have two inserts, and we can sort of blend them or mix between them. And then we have the aux, which will be in parallel to anything else. So they already, this is the default, right? But they already placed something here. We have the delay and we have the reverb, but I'm gonna change that. So I'm gonna just do none. And instead of this delay, I want to try the new shimmer effect. This is new in Pigments 4 shimmer. And it's already set here to 40% dry wet. So there's like presets. So you can see that we have some presets here, and you can even save your own. So this is really cool. So if you get any of those, and let me show you that again. There are so many effects that you can put here. So we have different effects. We have the tape. We have, by the way, this one is new, PS delay, I think. We also have other things that are new here, super unison. I'm gonna try that one, and there are some others. So anyway, on the shimmer, let's have a listen. I hope it's not too loud, right? And so that is really, really cool. And if it's too much, we can dial it back. We can set the size. You can see the size here. And we also have feedback, pitch shifting. So that's going to be pitch shifted 12 semitones. We can go crazy with 24. Right, and just remember that all we did right now is pretty much nothing. We have one engine here. We have the analog engine with one oscillator. Nothing special, but we do have the chords here, right? We have the unison chords, and then everything goes into our filter. And also, of course, it goes finally into the effects. So in Pigments, we have two filters, and on the right side, you have choice, filter routing. So they go either from filter 1 into filter 2, or you can set that in parallel. So everything goes into both of them, just splitting the signal. But you can go for each of the engines here, and you'll see that we have the filter mix. So I can set engine 1 to go into filter 1 and engine 2, and let's turn it on. That will go into the second one, which is, by the way, turned off. And we can mix between those. So all you need to do is go back to engine 1, dial it back. So it's a piano. I can change that to granular friendly. Right, and that goes into filter 2. And this one. Right, but everything goes into this filter. I think I noticed a glitch in the matrix. So it started like somewhere here, though the cutoff was all the way to the right. It's a little bug. Right. Anyway, if you click this title here, again, you'll see that you have tons of choices. So this is why I love Pigments. You have the multi-mode, which is the all-purpose. It has everything. So once you select that, you'll see that we have the mode right here. You click this, and you have choices. So it can be low pass, 6 dB per octave, can be 12, 24, 36, and then we have high pass, we have band reject, and all these guys. And then you can set the resonance, which will be that bump around the cutoff. Right, so again, reminding you that all we did is just use one oscillator from engine one, right? And we do have the shimmer reverb, which is amazing. And so now let's automate the cutoff. So again, there are a couple of ways to do that. So first of all, what do I mean by automate? I mean modulate. So I'm going to sort of open it up. So what I want to do is once I place something, it will open up. So that's one way to look at things. And I'm going to use envelope 2. So you see on the bottom, on the bottom here, we have envelopes, and I have envelope number 2. And I'm going to do something really simple. I'm going into envelope 2, and once I'm hovering on top of that, that's another something that is new in Pigments 4. I'm hovering on top of that, and I'm going to click and drag that on top of the cutoff, and you'll see that orange assignment. And now you see this pizza, and I can just dial it, and the direction is important because we want we really want the filter to open up almost all the way. Okay, so something like this. So this wah sound, this cat meow sound, is mostly coming from the resonance because we are sweeping the frequency just range, just sweeping that. So the more resonance, the more meow we'll get. And if we overdo it, we'll get a laser. So that's a little tip for sound design. If you want to sort of emulate a laser, you can go with the cutoff all the way to the left here. Now the other sound that we hear, that's the sampler that we've put here. We can turn it off. Right, so that's a little bit overdoing it, and we can also go back to the effects, and here we have a few things. For example, we have the pitch shift. That was over, I mean, that was a little bit too much. So we can dial it back to 12 semitones. And by the way, we can add some more stuff here. So for example, I can have a chorus effect right after. And now let's go back to the synth and dial back the resonance. And we can change the mode here. It doesn't have to be that sharp. I mean, I can be a little bit more loose here. Now let's do without. And with. Right, so that is the analog. That is the analog engine, and so the first one. And there's a lot of things that you can do here, which are very important for sound design, like the FM here. I can have oscillator 2 modulate oscillator 1, for example. I mean, and you can see what happens when one oscillator just sort of deforming the other one. So oscillator 2 is working its whatever it does on top of oscillator 1. But I'm not going there because we are doing some basic stuff, and actually I covered that one also in my channel. So let me show you before we continue, by the way. Let me show you something. So gonna go into my channel, right? And if you go into my videos and just browse all my 600 videos, about tons of stuff. You'll see, by the way, I have Arturia, other Arturia's stuff here. So we can just browse all the way down, and you will find a complete course, which I need to update. But anyway, it's still very valuable. So everything that you see here on Pigments is still relevant, and they're just adding. So you'll see that my very first videos were on Pigments. So you can see that we have the overview, we have the filters, wavetable engine, analog, and all of that. So everything is covered here. And so if you need some help, just let me know. And there are also some very basic concepts. So once you get into this, once you get into comfortable using a synthesizer, everything will make sense to you. You will be able to use any synthesizer. And I find it kind of sometimes funny that people, especially beginners, are chasing specific synthesizers or whatever, because they think that that will make the difference. Obviously, they're not even reading the user manual. So anyway, that's a little break here. Yeah, and by the way, if you're enjoying this so far, just let me know, and of course, hit the like button. And we have Super Herb right here. Thanks for joining. I'm really excited to see so many people joining here. And guys, I'm trying to be super available, and you can join any of my groups. There's tons of links in any of my videos. You can use that. And also, let me put something here. So I'm building a community in Discord, which is really fun stuff because it's easier to communicate. So I'm going to put this here, and you're welcome to join my Discord server, and we can talk about plugins and virtual instruments. And also one last something, I just opened a new plugin shop. So this is I mean, just the beginning. This is, I'm starting to sell plugins. I'm a reseller officially, working with all these companies that you see here. So Fab Filter and East West and Sound Iron, Sound Particle, UGEM. So all these are my my brands, the brands that I work with, and you can definitely contact me if you need a little bit of maybe discount or help or advice. I'll be happy to help you guys. So anyway, let's go back to Pigments. So that is the analog engine, but the wavetable is very interesting as well. So let's have a listen. I just changed the engine type. We're still all set with the same settings. So what is the difference? Again, I can push this into this position, and now we will have sort of, well, it is a sawtooth. Right, it's very, very similar to the sound that we had before, but the wavetable is a stack of waveforms, and you can scan through them. So another something that is new, I think this is also new in Pigments 4, is the morph. So if you don't use that morph, maybe I'm wrong, but if you don't use that morph, then you just jump from one waveform to the next. Right, but we will use the morph, which will morph between them. So now another something for beginners. It is important for you to experiment with the sound and try to recognize the sound. So for example, if you go into the sine waves, this is how it sounds. Right? So it's very, very delicate. You can recognize that sound. And if we'll go into the triangle, it will be somewhere between. I mean, if we go in, we'll first go into sawtooth. That's the character, but the triangle is somewhere in between. It's not completely a sine wave. It's not completely a sawtooth, somewhere in between. Right, and so that's the idea here, but there are many things that you can do here, and there are many complex wave tables. So for example, in Pigments 4 you'll see all these. I think there are about 60 different new tables. So let's go with the first one and see how complex it is. And we can flick through them just with the left and right here. Right, and again, I can automate that. I mean, what I can do is I can click this plus and go to function 1, and then go here. The green is function 1, and you can already see that we are sort of going one way, but I can definitely go into function 1 here, and you'll see this dot. I don't know if you can see that. You can see the dot is just traveling, and it's traveling in one way. So that can be changed. You can see that it says unipolar on the bottom here, right? So you can click this, and now it's going to be bipolar, and you can see that also here. You can see now we're going left and right, or basically just moving around the position. And you can really create like stuttering effects and, I mean, crazy stuff like this. And maybe it's too fast, so you can click this, go and sync. Right, and we're just automate. Now, if it's too much, you can hover on top of this, and this is really great. Again, something new in Pigments 4. You can see this pizza, and then click this, and just change the amount. Right, so that is the function. We are creating sort of a movement, a path, and our little dot here is just moving around. I don't know if you see it, it's very fast. And we have 3 different functions, function 2 and 3, and you can flick between them. And that's, I think that's also new. So you can go into function 1, 2, and 3, just clicking this, and you can use them. So you can assign each of them to anything. It's really fun stuff. So far, questions? Let me know in the comments, in the chat. You guys are very quiet. Let me know if you have any questions so far. And again, remember, this is really a basic lesson, and so we're not going very deep right now. Next, we also have random functions that we can assign. So for example, I can click this plus here, just remove the function and maybe use the randomization. So everything now is really just random. Let's try another sound. And we can change, instead of wavetable, we can change this to sample. And again, if you click the title, you'll see that we have tons of just sounds and samples. Beautiful. So I'm really loving it. It's really fun stuff. Yeah, let's try something else and see what else we have. So for example, we can definitely go into the sequencer now and see a few things. So first of all, we have an arpeggiator, and I can turn it on and off. We have an arpeggiator and a sequencer. So what's the difference? If I'll go into the arpeggiator, it will just go between, just play the notes that I play on the keyboard. So I'm gonna play a C minor. And you know what, guys? Let's try and find some other sounds for now, so we can experiment. I'm going into the banks, and they actually added 3 new banks here. So we have 4. We have the Pigments 4, we have Wavelength Cinematics, we have the Lo-Fi and Euro Bass. So let's take the bass. Right, and so let's see what we've got here. And I'm right, so all these are basses. Cool stuff, but still, let's try something else. Let's go with the Arturia with the Pigments 4. Yeah, let's go with this. So I'm going to open up the sequencer, the arpeggiator, and just play a chord. And we can set the rate, so I can have that faster. Right? And also what I can do is I can change the play mode. So it can be up and down, inclusive or not inclusive, and we can have auto regeneration here. And there are many things that you can do. For example, we can change the octaves here. I can just go 1 octave up. And I can change the number of steps. So right now we have all these steps, 16 steps. I can just change that. And then we have triggering probability, we have the gate length, and even sliding. Right, so that is very cool. But also we have the sequencer. So I can create sequences in a particular scale. So I can go and say, okay, let's go with natural minor. And now when I just slide the slider here, I'll only get the notes that are from this scale. So I can go something like this. Right. And we even have these sounds here. So let's go back into the synth and we'll see that we have this engine here, the second engine with a sample. We can change that. Even drum loops and things like that. So there's a lot of fun. So let's try and find some more interesting presets. Right, now let's go back to some more basic things that you can do here. And I'm going back into the template and I'm going to just get the default. Right, and we'll set this to this sawtooth. And there are a lot of things that you can do here. So again, we're just getting started here with the synth, and there are so many things to know about this. So you can see that we have all these just below here: frequency or ring modulators, we have the phase, we have phase transform and wave folding. Now for the geeks here, if you are serious about this and you want to learn more, the help here is amazing. So first of all, we have tutorials that you can run, but there's also the user manual. Now this is really one of the best user manuals ever, because it will teach you a lot of things on synthesis and sound design. So if you go here, I really recommend to go into the user manual, and there are tons of stuff that you can read about Pigments 4 and synthesis. So let me show you stuff. Right. It will actually tell you a lot of things. So yeah, let's not waste time on that one right now. But it does goes very deep, and there are many things here. Anyway, so in Pigments we have different ways to sort of morph. So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna going into the two-dimensional view, and let's start doing the phase modulation. So you can see what happens here. And we have the modulator that can modulate engine 2, but that doesn't matter. I can change the modulator wave, and right, and let's play with the envelopes here. And we also have the filter. Let's try the MS-20 filter. And or maybe we can try some other type. We can go with the mini. And we can assign the cutoff again to, let's go with envelope 2 and set that one. And we can set this one now to the other direction. So it will start open and then close. right? And the amount is set right here. And again, we can go into the effects and add the delay, or maybe change that to the tape echo and get the reverb. Right, and we can set lane 2 here, the FXB, to something else like chorus, or maybe change that to, let's go with the super unison. Right, things like that. So that is basically the idea here. So let's go through this just one more time. We can add in engine 2 also the harmonic engine here. So let me show you how that works. So we have the number of partials, and I can dial it back. So it's exactly like if I would play a sine wave. But I'm adding more and more partials and creating sounds as I go. And I can shape this, I can morph things. And so let's try and just changing some stuff here. And changing the frequency mode here. So if you want to create metallic sounds, this is the way. You're playing with the frequency mode here. Some hollow sounds. And we also again have the window here. And actually I want to go back into the effects here and change in this effect here. I'm going to change this to the shimmer. Right, so we hear this artifact here. That's probably happening because of our filter here. And we can go into the utility engine, which is turned on, and add some noise. Let me close everything. So you can hear the noise. And you can add that basically to the sound. But we can definitely send the noise just to filter 2. And dial it back, just the volume. And now add everything together. Very, very nice. Anyway, let me know again if you have any questions or anything, if you want to learn anything. I cover pretty much everything so far in my videos. So I'm really happy to help you guys. And that's just about what I wanted to show you. And if you like this live stream and you want me to do more, just let me know. You can find me in Facebook. I got a few groups that you can definitely join. So in Facebook, I'm very much available in my page. So you can find me right here. And I got a few groups that you can join. For example, this one. And also, of course, feel free, if any of my videos, and I got about 600 videos, if anything helped you and you feel generous, you can just click the thanks button, and that will be much appreciated. If we go into any of the videos, you'll see this thanks button. And by the way, you can join the I mean, you can join my my membership. So if we go into my channel, whatever, you'll see join. You'll see join below any of my videos.
My channel, it's a
I don't know why you don't see. Maybe it's because I'm connected, but you can join. Oh, it's right here. Join my my channel, and that will grant you sessions with myself. You can we can meet. We can talk about stuff. I got a lot of discounts and a lot of coupons for you guys in my shop and in general, but also free plugins that I give away every month to the members. And so, by the way, let's see. So I'm going to think about a number, and I'll give you a few seconds, and everyone just I mean a number between 1 and 100, between 1 and 100, and if you get that correct, you will get a free plugin from me. How about that? So I'm thinking right now on a number, and I'm gonna write it down, right? So let me write it down in a notepad. So you don't see it right now, and you need to guess. If you guess right, I'm gonna send you, I mean, I need your email and all that stuff, but I'm gonna send you a free plugin. So just think about a number between just between 1 and 100. All right, so we have 60 by Philippe. Who else is still with me? Again, guess a number between 1 and 100, and I'm gonna get you a free plugin, something small, nothing fancy, but I mean, right? We have 77 by Cornelius. We have 25 by Ibrahim. We have 36 by OV1. Come on, guys. I'm going to count to right. We have 90 by Franzu. Cool. All right. So I'm going to count till 10, and then I'm going to announce who's the winner, because there is one person here that is very, very close. Right. So last chance. Guess a number between 1 and 100, and you will win a free plugin. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we have a winner. We have Cornelius is right, because that's exactly the number that I chose. Here you go. So we have 77. Good job. So Cornelius, you won. And just contact me through Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and send me your email, and I'm gonna send you a free plugin from my shop, and that's gonna be awesome. So anyway, yeah, it's gonna be, yeah, don't get too excited. It's something simple. It's gonna be well, I'll give you two choices, okay, and you tell me later which one. But it's gonna be tomorrow, because I'm super tired. It's the end of the day for me. I'm gonna send you something tomorrow. Anyway, guys, if you like this live stream, you can still tip below the chat. There's a way to tip, but you don't have to. Really appreciate if you guys just like the videos that I do. if you like them. Comment. I'm trying to answer anything, whatever I can. So please feel free to leave comments, like the videos, be a subscriber, and follow me wherever in Facebook and all that stuff. And I'll see you very soon. So I think the next live stream is gonna be something really cool. It's gonna be Hive. Thank you, OV1 Records. So we're gonna do a live stream on this synthesizer. If you guys want to see it. Good night, everybody. You're awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Right, and there's tons of presets. Let's try and find something here in the plugs and stubs. Good night, Philip. And Cornelius just send me an email. Okay, sorry, send me your email and I will get back to you, or we can chat tomorrow and I'll get you your prize. It's gonna be most likely something from Initial Audio. So Initial Audio reverse, most likely, but maybe something else. We'll see. Anyway, this is really a fun one, and I will schedule something for next week. Good night, guys, and congrats to Cornelius and to to Argentina, I think, right? See you soon. All right, guys, I'm off. Bye-bye. Thanks, Franzu. Good night. Thank Cornelius. And we have Philippe, and we have OV1 Records. See you soon.